Hello, glad to have you here. This is from the CBN. I'm Misi Dada. The Anchor Borrowers Program, a financing model for smallholder farmers, is one of the policy initiatives of the Central Bank of Nigeria with the developmental objectives of job creation, reduction in food imports, and diversification of the economy. But how has the program performed so far? What should you do as a smallholder farmer to be a part of the program? Is the Anchor Borrowers Program all about rice and maize cultivation alone? These and other questions will be answered in today's episode, plus a showcase of more beneficiaries of the CBN Targeted Credit Facility TCF and the Agri-Business Small and Medium Enterprise Investment Scheme AGSMEIS. First, let's bring you up to speed on the news highlights from the Central Bank of Nigeria this week. More than half of the adult population in Nigeria are now formally included in the financial system, and the CBN has tasked key players in the sector to develop an actionable national fintech strategy that is fit for purpose. CBN Deputy Governor in charge of Financial Systems Stability, Mrs. Aisha Hamad, gave the charge during a virtual meeting for the development of the national fintech strategy in Nigeria in collaboration with the Alliance for Financial Inclusion recently. Mrs. Hamad said that the development of a national fintech strategy for the country was a resolution of the National Financial Inclusion Steering Committee, which sought to provide a concerted approach leveraging financial technology innovations to drive financial inclusion among the underserved population. She added that digital financial services were at the core of fintech strategy that will be used to drive broader development in the financial ecosystem, reducing costs, increasing transaction efficiency, and improving security and transparency of financial services. The Central Bank of Nigeria has approved the release of 50,000 metric tons of maize from Strategic Maize Reserve under the Anchor Borrowers Program to 12 major producers in the country. This is the third of such maize releases to companies, and it is intended to check the activities of middlemen who are responsible for artificial scarcity of the commodity. Recipients of the grains are Premier Flour Mills, Crown Olam, Grand Cereals, Animal Care, Amobin and Hybrid Feeds, Obasanjo Farms, Zartek, Wakot, Said Farms, Panda Green Novum, and Premium Farms. Confirming the grains release, CBN spokesman Mr. Osita Omanisubi expressed optimism that the action would crush the price of maize, reduce pressure on the market, and make the product directly available to producers of animal feeds, thereby reducing the cost of poultry feed, for instance.
Up until a few years ago, Nigeria produced far less than it consumed, spending up to $22 billion annually on importation. Then came the import policy by the federal government. Now, to survive, the nation must learn to be self-sufficient. And so far, we are on the verge of achieving this through the intervention of the Central Bank of Nigeria and other stakeholders in support of local farmers and efforts of value chain entrepreneurs. Now, the goal of creating 10 million jobs in 5 years through 10 commodities is gradually being actualized. Let's buy Nigerian to grow Nigeria.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is from the CBN. Now let's focus on one of the major intervention initiatives of the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Anchor Borrowers Program. In this chat with the Director, Development Finance Department of the CBN, Mr. Philip Yila Yusuf.
The Anchor Borrower Program has been a tremendous success since inception in 2015. principally in trying to achieve national food security. Without food security, you really cannot develop as a country. As at today, we've disbursed in excess of 696 billion naira to over 3.7 million farmers cultivating 4.2 million hectares. Commodity-wise, we've done over 21 commodities, mostly staple crops and certain other crops for export. But key focus in the last 3 years has been staple crops on the food on the table of Nigerians for food. So things like maize, rice, wheat, cotton for our CTG sector, tomato, poultry, very, very important to us, and a little bit of fishery. Coming back to the program, I think that you must commend President Muhammadu Buhari and also the Governor of the Central Bank for embarking on this program. As you well know, during the lockdown, the COVID, the pandemic, without the Anko Borrower program, Nigeria would have run into a serious crisis, because all other countries that were affected by the pandemic went into protectionist mode. Nobody was exporting because nobody could determine how long the lockdown was going to be. But because we had the Anko Borrower program in place, we had cultivated a lot. The country was consuming output from the Anko Borrower program. So kudos to the president and also to the governor for the program. Without this program, we would have been in a serious mess. One of the things that we've also done in the last 2 years as the central bank is to try and democratize every intervention that we have. Any Nigerian, any smallholder farmer is eligible to be able to participate in this program. There are various windows that we've created, starting with the association model. Typically, farmers, come together, as a group, either to share, extension practices, to discuss the weather, or to, look at the kind of inputs, seeds, water pumps that they get from the various suppliers. Compare notes, essentially. So we have an association model which the farmers can plug into. They typically just go collect a form, register with them, and that association will apply for the loan on their behalf. So that's one way of, accessing the Anko Borrower program. We also have the private sector window, which is called the Prime Anko window. So farmers can approach any of the commercial farmers, talk to them that I have this 1 hectare of land and I want you to be able to apply on my behalf. They will take your BVN, check that you don't have any encumbrances, and list you through the program. So the procedure is quite easy. It's democratized. Any smallholder farmer bearing as a criteria you do not have any encumbrances. Encumbrances meaning that either you've accessed this facility previously and you've not paid down. It was not good. So we do not want to encourage bad behavior. So you take the loan, you pay. The next year, we even have incentives that in the last 1 year we've put in place to say, look, you start with 1 hectare, you can move to 1.5 hectare. So if you pay down, you can increase the hectarage that you have. So a lot of farmers do access this window. It's democratic. It's easy to access. The associations exist all over the country, in every single local government, either as cooperatives or as small farming groups. They come together. And then we have development finance officers across the country. So if a farmer is having challenges, he can easily be attended to by the DFO, who is in constant touch with the various associations. Yeah. Yes, when you're dealing with those at the bottom of the pyramid, typically you do not want, like I said earlier, to encourage bad behavior, and you don't want default rates. You want them to be able to pay down their loans. When we started this program in 2015, we started with a small size of farmers, but as we speak, over 1.6 million farmers are projected to be cultivating annually. Default rates are not too high. In the last 2 years, we've increased recovery to 70-75%. We're looking at a situation, and it's a master stroke from the governor of the central bank. Typically, we usually say the farmers should sell the produce, and bring the cash to the deposit money banks. But we'll change that model. The governor said, you know what, let the farmer start repaying in commodity, because a typical farmer, you know, if he doesn't see any agent from the bank and he's sitting down in his farm, he has other obligations. Either his children want to go to school or he has to eat. You know, he typically would dispose of the produce. So we collect produce from them. We've even gone as far as creating a reserve. So I'll give you an example for nominal reasons. You have 1 hectare of maize, the output is 5 tons. About 1.5 metric tons will pay your loan. The central bank is ready to take the remaining 3.5, put it into a strategic reserve so that we can improve the income of the farmers. That way you improve the income, improve the livelihood of the farmers, and then they can come back and sustain the program. We're looking at how we can also legislate to be able to sustain the program. You know, we don't want to truncate it past the life of Governor Emefiele. We're looking at how we can work with the National Assembly to look at how we can continuously support the ABP, not just the ABP, but other agricultural interventions that we have. Remember, we also have the commercial agri credit scheme, and we also have the private sector-led accelerated agricultural development scheme, which, if you combine, in total, we've disbursed in excess of 1.4, 1.5 trillion naira. So the program is sustainable. It will depend on repayment, which we're looking at different models that we can ensure that the farmers, it's easy for them to pay, it's easy for us to be able to collect, and it's easy for us to be able to release what we collect into the market to achieve the central bank's mandate, which is really around price stability. I think rice, most people say because rice is a staple food, is what they can see, and they've been seeing the pyramids all over the place. But it's not just rice. Since inception, we've done over 21 commodities, but there's an increasingly key focus on stable crop items. So rice, maize for poultry. Last year alone, we financed over 250,000 hectares of maize, created value in excess of 200 billion naira, and tomato also, if you recall, one of the things we put on the prohibited list is the importation of canned tomato paste. So we're looking at how we can increase the supply of tomato. We're also looking at things like cotton to enhance our CTG, the cotton, the textile, the garment sector. We're doing very well on cotton. Livestock, there's a reserve in Bobi we're also funding, and quite a lot of things. We're also focusing on things for export, like ginger, sesame seeds, soya beans. So increasingly, they see the rice pyramids that have come back, and rice is a staple food item. But we've funded over 21 different commodities, and there are 10 of them that are focal on our list. We're also increasingly looking at wheat. Annually, Nigeria imports about 6 million metric tons of wheat and only cultivates less than 100,000. We've brought in seeds working with our partners from Mexico. Typical yield in country is about 1.5 metric tons. We're looking at how we can take that to 10 metric tons per hectare. If we can be self-sustaining in wheat alone, that will cut our food import bill by over $2.53 billion annually, because wheat forms a major input into things like spaghetti, into bread on a daily basis. So it's not just rice, but a whole variety of commodities. Okay, I think the ABP, the Anchor Borrower Program, has come home to stay. We're working with the National Assembly to see how we can legislate it. I think it's one of the things that legacies of Governor Emefiele. He'll always be associated with the Anchor Borrower Program. I think with the Anchor Borrower Program, we'll achieve food security. I would say it's not been perfect, but continuously we're looking at how we can enhance it, continue to scale up, and then bring in more farmers. And one very last important thing is that I've been on this job for the last close to 2 years. I've seen the demography of the farmer continuously change. A typical farmer 5 years ago, before the Anchor Borrower Program, is somebody who's retired, 60 and above. But average age is continuing to decline. We're seeing farmers between 25 and 35 form a huge chunk of those who are cultivating and into primary production. So I want to see that encouraged. I want to see how we can bring in more of our youthful people, because farming is where you make money. It's the new oil today. Thank you.
Aha, you want to call the number? Oh yeah, wait. Oh yeah, 0.
No, now. Stop it.
What? I'll call you back. What?
Stop writing on the naira.
It's just 500 naira.
No matter the denomination, the naira is not a sheet of paper to be written on or crumpled. It is Nigeria's legal tender currency. The naira should not be abused by being sprayed or danced on at parties. The naira is not a shelf item to be sold or bought along the road or at social events.
So how will I celebrate with people when I go for their parties?
You can simply put your monetary gifts inside envelopes and present to the celebrants.
If I choose to spray and
you could go to jail for 6 months or pay a fine of 50,000 naira or both.
For real? I didn't know that.
Now you know. Spread the message. The naira is a symbol of our national identity. Let's safeguard its integrity. Don't abuse the naira.
This message is from the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN.
Thanks for staying tuned. You're still watching from the CBN. For some time now, we've been sharing with you testimonies of the beneficiaries of various CBN economic intervention schemes across the country. We have more for you this week.
My name is Sarah Timothy. I do sell both women and men clothes into English dress and native wears. So my shop is located at opposite Shiro Hotel, Minanenja State. I heard about the loan program from a friend of mine. I applied for 5 million. They gave me 1 million naira. The COVID-19 affected my business due to some challenges that my customers are facing. Some, if they buy goods within the period of a month, they will pay. But during that time, some they will spend like 5 months before they paid me. The loan I got from COVID-19 is for SME. I really thank the CBN government, and I pray that may God continue to be with them because they really helped me. I also thank the president of this Nigeria, President Muhammad Buhari. May God continue to be with him. Our advice for my other fellow Nigerians that are waiting for this loan is that they should be patient because it's not immediately I apply for the loan that I got it. So they should be patient, and when they got the loan, they should use it in a very good way. They should think very well. They should not just use the money anyhow. They should use the money to impact in other people's life.
My name is Victor Sulu. I'm from Edo State, and I'm a farmer here doing poultry, oxidized and processing in Osun State. I'm one of the people that got the Agric Loan from CBN. Very fantastic loan, timely loan. Actually came at the time when I really needed it. It has given my business a fantastic boost, and I got like 10 million naira, and the money has been fantastic. It has gone into different diversifications in my business. As you can see right now, we're in a processing place. I didn't have this before, but now we have this, and we're hoping to get better. And I know with God and with patience, we'll get there. Capacity has increased. We've had the impact that has paid us. Before we were doing more like lightweight, but right now we're like entering the processed chicken department. We're also trying to enter the market and get our brand there. And all this is thanks to the CBN and to the President of Nigeria, Buhari. He's done a nice one here. And I also thank the governor, CBN, Godwin Emefiele. This has been a nice concept, and I hope it continues. It shouldn't stop because we all need it over here. And my advice to young people out there, don't give up your dream. Still believe and try to access CBN any way you can. They are out there, social media networks, newspaper. If you talk to any farmer that's sincere and transparent, they'll lead you through. Look at starting small like we did, and just give yourself time, but be steadfast and try to hook up to other farms that are there. Let them be your mentors, because over here we do try. At least we started before, we had about 6 staff. Now we've about close to 35 staff have gone through us. We've now even turned ourselves to a means of empowering people. You work with us for a while. If you believe you're good enough, I'll tell you to go start your own and I'll mentor you. So that's basically what we do over here. And all this is because of Federal Government of Nigeria, President Buhari, and of course, the most important, the Governor of the CBN, Godwin Emefiele. Thank you very much.
name is Patricia from Osogbo. I'm into bag business. My business located at Osogbo. I benefited from CBN loan during last year pandemic season. I was given a CCF COVID-19 loan, the amount of 450,000. I was told by a friend to log in that CBN had doing stuff for youth then. So when I logged in, fortunately for me, I was granted the loan. I collected the loan June last year. Before the loan was granted, I've been having a lot of challenges in my business due to what happened last year during the COVID-19. So immediately the loan was granted to me, it was so helpful for me to help me start all over again. And right now I'm very happy because my business is now booming. So I would like to commend the effort of the CBN governor, the president of Nigeria, for this initiative, because they really tried and really this thing really helped young youth then. And I would like to employ them to continue this thing. They should not stop it, because there are some other people who need this help as well. So that I want other people to benefit from where somebody like me has benefited. And I would like to implore all the youth to have courage and to be courageous enough, because there are a lot of benefits outside that can be benefited from without being violent or without being doing anything rubbish. So I will implore other youth to look out for this loan, because it's really good. And for us that have collected it, we should try and pay it back so that other people too can benefit from it. And then so that we go collect more than the one we collected. So this law is very good, and then thanks to Nigeria as a whole.
My name is Mejabi Olanrewaju John. I'm an indigenous of Kogi State, but I reside in Osun State doing my little business. I'm into printing of photography, frames and other things, just like that. And my business location is in Osun State, Aleku, precisely number 64. That is where we do our business. I have a contact with the CBN and receive a loan from Agric Loan in 2020. That is when I received the loan, and I was given a loan of 4 million, which had really helped and broadened my business. I heard of it from a friend, and I went through, when I was going through paper, I listened to radio, I heard of, so I had to go make my contacts, and I applied without knowing anybody. Everything came out true. That's how I got the loan in 2022. The impact of that loan on my business is very, very effective, because I used to know before the loan, the business, the social, no money, you can't. When you don't have money, you don't know what to do. You don't perform well. But immediately the money came in, I employed 2 staff with myself. They are outside now, supplying frames, supplying other things. I'm in the office with one of my staff. So the impact was very, very effective. Like in a month, formally, you make 10,000, 12,000. But now at least I can boast of making 50, 60 and above in a month. So it was a very, 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 very timely. It was so timely. I just want to use this opportunity to appreciate and thank the CBN, especially for providing this avenue, and thanking the federal government for opening this space so people can at least access this type of loan without going into other shady business. So I really appreciate the federal government, and I appreciate the CBN. I appreciate them very well. My advice to people outside here, this is real. This is real. advise everybody to go into the paper, go there, go and make inquiry, see and assess this loan. Some people assess this loan, they use it in other ways. You can see my office. My machine is beside you. There, my friend, I have my workshop, which I would like you to go and visit. I would like you to go and visit our store and see that life has changed. So for people outside there who collect this loan and use it to other things, I would advise them to rethink. For people who have not known, I advise them to go to CBN, go and inquire and assess this loan. It's there. You don't need to know anybody. It's very, very effective. Thank you.
That's the package this week from the CBN. Remember to log on to the website of the Central Bank of Nigeria using www.cbn.gov.ng to learn more about its various economic intervention schemes, or better still, locate the CBN branch office in your state for more information. Call the CBN Contact Center using the phone line provided below for your valid complaints. Remember, local queries may apply. Keep sending your comments and contributions to the email address fromthecbn@gmail.com and follow us on the social media for updates and updated episodes of the program. Join us again next time. I'm William C. Dada. Stay safe and bye for now.